One of PastPerfect 5's biggest new features is the ability to include items in your collection onto catalog lists. These lists enable you to group items together for a single purpose, whether it is to prepare items to go on exhibit, move them to a new home location, set relations, or mark them to be uploaded to PastPerfect Online. With PastPerfect 5, creating lists and adding catalog records is a simple process and will maximize the way you used your collection records. To start, I'm going to click on Catalog List, which is located in the Research section of the main menu. When you view the Catalog List Manager, you will see a List Folders column, and to the right of the folders, a series of list names. Catalog lists are grouped into list folders, which can be named for any purpose. For example, in the PastPerfect 5 evaluation, I have 3 folders, each containing several lists: Curator's Research, Natural History List, and Potential Exhibits. If I click on a single folder, I will only see the lists that are contained within that folder. For example, if I select the Curator's Research folder, I will see 3 lists: items for PastPerfect Online, items with yearly maintenance due, and the Rocky Pine Ranch collection. The red or green diamonds next to the list names will indicate if the list is public, which means that anyone using PastPerfect can access that list, or private, which means that if you are using security, only the list manager assigned to that list can view it. An additional option to control your list is to lock it. If you lock a list, that means that no records can be added or removed from the list. The options to make a list public or private, or to lock a list, are available under the Change List Name or Parameters button in the sidebar. To add a new folder or to add a new list to a folder, you can click on the Create New Folder or Create a New List button on the top of the sidebar. In this example, I'll create a new list under the Curator's Research folder. When I click on the Create a New List button, I will get a window allowing me to select my folder, add my list name, and include a description of the list. The List Manager drop-down menu will show you the user's authority file, or if you have security activated, will show a list of the security login names. I can also control if this list is private or locked on the screen. Remember, a locked list will not allow you to add or remove records. If a list is locked, simply remove the check mark from the locked field. My new list name is called Photographs Before 1900. I'll finish adding the list and will now see it displayed under the Curator's Research folder. To add records to the list, I can manually add records on an individual basis, run a query from the Catalog Records or from the Research menu, or use the Add Records to Selected List button on the sidebar of the Catalog List Manager screen. For this example, I'll add one record manually to the list, and then come back to the Context List Manager screen to add more records. To add an individual record, I'll exit back to the main menu and then click on Photos. Once I locate the record I want to add to my list, I'll click on the List button in the sidebar, which will display all of the list that the record is on. On the right-hand side, there is a plus sign button, which will allow me to add this record to my list. I'll click the plus sign, and then click to highlight my Photographs Before 1900 list. Next, I'll click on the Add Catalog Record to Selected List button, and then press OK. You will now see that the new list name is displayed under the list screen view. If I exit and go back to the Catalog List screen, I will now see that the Photographs Before 1900 list has one record on it. To add multiple records to a list, I can select my list name on the Context List Manager screen, and on the sidebar, click the Add Records to Selected List button. This will allow me to create and run a query for all records that match my query statement. Because I'm looking for items in the Photos catalog, I'll uncheck Objects, Archives, and Library from the top of the screen. Then I will go to the Field drop-down list and find the Year Range To field. Under Condition, I'll select Less Than, and under Value, I'll select 1900. I'll click the Add to Statement button, and we'll see it appear in my filter statement below. Once the filter statement is ready, I'll run the query to select records and view my search results. If any records appear to not match my criteria, such as default records, I can click the white box to the left of the catalog and object ID number on the list, which will mark that record for removal of the search results I show on my screen. It will not delete the actual record, only remove it from this list. I can then click on the Removed Marked Records button at the bottom of the screen, and if all other records look okay to go on the list, I will click on the Add Selected Catalog Records to List button. Since one of my records that match the criteria is already on the list when we manually added it, 9 other records will be added. I can then click Exit and return back to the Catalog List Manager screen. Now to see the records on my list, I can either double-click on the list name or highlight the list name and click on the View Selected List button. Once I am viewing the records on the list, I can see more options in the sidebar, including options to add to an exhibit or loan, include on web for PastPerfect Online, view the records, or if you have the multimedia upgrade installed, click on the View Images button. This will bring up our new Lightbox feature, allowing you to see a thumbnail image for each record on the list. For more information about catalog lists and how it will help you manage your collection, please check out Chapter 15 in your PastPerfect User's Guide.